Released in 2014, Christian horror movie The Lock-In features 3 teenage worshippers who find an X-rated magazine and soon learn an important lesson about human sexuality, that it is sick, depraved, and even thinking about it will unleash a demon on your church sleepover. Damn religion, it's like you want kids growing up to be locker room stranglers. So lock up your chastity belt and settle in for a religious movie that is just like Paranormal Activity, except it uses Christianity to replace all of that commercial appeal. I guess mainstream audiences just aren't devout enough to appreciate The Lock-In's horrible improvisation, headache-inducing fluorescent lighting, and a commitment to shaky camera work that will punish you for every ungodly image you've ever seen. Like that painting of the dogs playing poker. If that's not witchcraft, then how are they each holding cards without thumbs? We'll explore that, plus several other theological dilemmas, in today's satanic centerfold installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content found on the web, and we break it down like it's a victim of religious abuse to look at each individual clip and say, it's a porn demon or it's a godly creature. I don't actually remember where this movie was recommended to me, but with a log line that is essentially kids get locked in a church with a demon from a possessed adult magazine, I'm pretty much on board right away. That sounds right up my alley. But before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on religious films like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I also have a Patreon and merch, and as of now, you can pre-order the mug can plushie so that you can have the iconic character at home to squeeze and cuddle. We need to pre-sell 300 before they go into production, so if you're interested in grabbing one, they're $29 and you can check the link in the description. So the movie begins, as many of these low-budget found footage movies do, with an attempt at an like ominous opening scene where it's like, tell us about why you did this. And it's like, who's interviewing who? What is the context of this imagery here? Whatever, let's meet this guy and then never interview anyone ever again. We love the consistency, filmmakers. Oh, this movie was made by a production company called Holy Moly Pictures or whatever. So it's like, Holy Moly is right.
Can you kind of tell me what you saw in the footage?
Let's just say I now believe there's a correlation between pornography and demon activity.
He's like, turns out the more demon activity shown in pornography, the faster I come. I feel like I shouldn't even have to say this anymore, but they could have completely cut out this first scene showing youth pastor Dan and his piss-colored walls. Why was everybody in the 2010s painting their interiors to match the bruise on my ass? It's taking a long time to heal because horses keep stepping on me in the same spot. And don't tell me to stop laying down around horses, okay? Their corrals have some of the most fun mud puddles to play in. Anyway, this guy lets us know that this video has been edited into just the most interesting part so that they could send it off to the Pope. This has been the premise for, like, I think The Exorcism of Emily Rose or some other found footage exorcism movie. So real original, new ground all the time. Next we see Justin. This movie sucks because they're all wearing like green plaid button-up shirts. It's like, couldn't even put them in a different color. Anyway, Justin is getting ready for this church lock-in. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a lock-in. My community theater did them. It's like the kids and a couple chaperones lock themselves in the building so that no one's coming and going and parents know everyone's safe, and you sleep over a place that you don't normally sleep. Justin is kind of the guy behind the camera throughout this movie, so we don't see him on screen much, unlike our next character. His name is Blake, and he's played by an actor who definitely knows what types of hand gestures look natural.
Okay, what's going on everybody? It is me, Blake. We're going to a church lock-in tonight, and it is gonna be crazy, intense, awesome. We're at my buddy Nick's house right now. We're gonna get crazy and have all kinds of fun tonight because we're cool, all right? Let's begin.
Oh, why was that last part Jared Leto as the Joker right before he like hijacks an ice cream social? Let's begin. In addition to pointing out at an invisible crowd, it seems like Blake is also a big fan of the meditative hand mudra. He does this the whole first act of the movie, even when they go into the house. So here's what I'm going to get Nick.
Can I tell you that is literally the best pleasure of my life every time I see your face.
Wish we could say the same thing right now, but your extreme side close-up is showing off the shape of your rounded toddler teeth, and it's just not the most pleasurable angle. Blake mentions that they're really excited to set Nick up with his crush Jessica when they get to the lock-in. They seem like really annoying friends to have, and also the parents seem like really annoying parents to have.
I'm Nicholas is right now.
Jesus, lady, save that type of scream for when your husband finally snaps and tries to kill you because the neighbors are about to call the police. She said it's called projection and the rest of the cast needs to look it up. Little Miss Embellished Blazer over here is the only one who seems to realize this movie is being shot without the use of external microphones. So obviously these kids are like a little churchy because they're going to a church lock-in. And then when Blake lets it slip that Nick has a crush on Jessica, the parents go into full protector mode, praying to the Lord, speaking in tongues, saying really inappropriate things.
He is a man of God and he will not touch any girl until they're at least 25 years old, Father. He's just such a baby still.
Keep the barn door shut.
Yes, Father. Help him to keep his trap door shut.
Keep his trap door shut? Now you're saying he can't even get in the ass until he enters the kingdom of heaven? This house is so unfair. We never see the parents again after this scene. I think they could have been brought back as like the demon or the devil like showing up looking like them in order to like psychologically torture Nick, but no, we lose them after this. For reasons I don't understand, the kids start digging through the dumpster on their way to the church, and I'm like, it's already hard to believe that you 23-year-olds are supposed to be seniors in high school, but now I'm freaked out that you think seniors in high school just love playing in garbage, like in the middle of the day. Anyway, they find something in a brown paper bag that really kicks the plot into motion.
What is it? Look at this. It's a dirty mag.
I mean, it could be a little fun.
Why don't we bring it to the locker?
No.
Blake,
Are you kidding me? Why not? Justin, give me one good reason why we shouldn't.
Because it's a youth group.
There you go, Blake. Now put that magazine down. It looks like someone threw it out because all the pages got stuck together. So once they get to the church, we meet Genesis and Jessica. I really hope her name is Genesis, the friend of the girl that Nick has a crush on, because I keep calling her Genesis. I was like, wait, are they reading Genesis? Are they playing Sega Genesis? Anyway, they're like, why do you have the camera on? And they're like, we just want to remember this night. That's the weakest justification for this found footage to exist ever. Like, they just want to remember it. Don't they have cell phones? It's 2014. Anyway, their kids are all like getting ready for the lock-in, and when Jessica goes into Nick's bag, she finds the porn magazine and is instantly disgusted and of course tells on them. And the youth pastor pulls them all into the office to have a little chat about the harms of pornography.
It's not just a magazine, man. That's somebody's daughter. That could be my daughter.
But it wasn't.
Okay, so it wasn't this time.
But next month, who knows? We're hoping she finally books a cover shoot ever since she grew into her areolas. I don't know why this guy is like, next time it could be my daughter. Then you should talk to her. That seems like the bigger issue between your family and pornography is that you hate it so much and your daughter's out here posing. Not that I have a problem with it. I say, let your daughter take nude photos. Let her print them in a magazine. That's her life.
Man, would you just go stand at my wife's house and just look in her window? No. Of course not, but this is what you're doing with that kind of stuff.
Sir, we're sorry we found a magazine in the trash. Just please stop saying pervy things about your immediate family. He said, if you walked past my sister-in-law's bedroom and the door was open to crack, would you peek inside to watch her oil her breasts using shea butter? Well, that's what you're doing by looking at these pictures. You're watching my sister-in-law as she rubs her slick, oily breasts while they glisten. Like, okay, you should stop talking about it then. If it's that much of a violation, it seems more in your head than mine. It's also like, the very basis of this whole movie is like pornography is what? He implies that it's like disrespectful to women, even though those women are consenting, you know, presumably. If it's printed in a magazine, they're consenting models who want to get paid for this work. It's not like catcalling someone on the street or being a peeping Tom. I'm just saying. So this youth pastor is like, you know what we're gonna do with this dirty magazine? We're gonna take it out into the parking lot and burn it so that we can just move on and have a good lock-in. It's like, or you could just throw that out in your office. Maybe don't like have a whole sacrificial ceremony with the lady's boobs. He's like, the only way to destroy nudity is with fire. Meanwhile, Jessica is completely disgusted with Nick, whose bag had the magazine in it, even though, you know, he really didn't want anything to do with it. It was all Blake's idea. Now they really are looking in windows at girls though. That's not cool.
It's disgusting. Like, I thought he was a nice guy, and he's got this crap in his bag. Like, what do I do? Yeah.
Listen to that. You can already hear the creaky mattress of society starting to buckle underneath all of this pornography. Even though pornography predates Christianity itself, so can't be that much of a threat. And also, I don't know who this girl is talking to right now on the phone. Aren't your friends here? Anyway, sweetheart, I'm so sorry you found out that the boy you like jerks off, but it sounds like there are other people in this room just trying to have gymnastics practice right now.
Yeah.
Also, this movie wants to make it seem like pornographic images are the absolute worst thing and the biggest threat to society, and I'm just like, what about guns, you gun-toting Christians? Not that all Christians love guns, but I mean, there's a connection. There's a correlation, just like the one between demon activity and pornography. In fact, in the USA, 110 people on average are killed every day by guns, according to Everytown USA. And since 2009, there have been 247 mass shootings. Gun violence in school is rising, and in order to crack down on it, we need to stop the distribution of ghost guns and expanding violence intervention programs in the communities that need it most. Your vote is the best way to make sure that you're helping elect representatives who also care about these very important issues, and calling your state representative. Your voice matters in all of this, and we deserve to feel safe in public. But I don't know how I'm supposed to feel safe when there's a naked lady following me around in a booklet anyway, because these kids have just burned that magazine, and then when Nick unrolls his sleeping bag, a zoom, 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 there it is again, that ratty old paper bag covered magazine. This was the exact same plot line of that other Christian horror movie we saw about the woman with the haunted diary. Like, she burned it, she threw it away, it always showed up somewhere else. Like, we get it. Objects can be stubborn. It's also like the least visual or cinematic way of showing us that something is cursed. Like, can we use a little bit more creativity here? So understandably freaked out, the kids go upstairs and try to get rid of the booklet. Why am I calling it a booklet? Whatever, they throw it away again.
I'm just not gonna be a garbage, man. Just put it in the bottom of the trash can. Make sure it's hidden. All right, let's go. No, let's go. Okay. All right.
I think these kids might want to look at that magazine mainly because they're desperate for more information on how sex works. Blake here just sniffed his fingers after touching a picture of a naked woman. That's not quite right. That's what happens when you let straight men learn everything they know about sex from the movie American Pie when they watched it at age 12, and then their dads never talked to them again. Great, you're gonna make an excellent lover. Shortly after throwing out the magazine, the paranormal activity starts.
Run! Where is it? Where is it?
Oh no, now that the trash can has fallen over and the unpaid extras have disappeared, our lead actors can really start improvising up a storm. By that I mean a natural disaster that deserves worldwide attention. Rather than writing out an actual script, this found footage format allows the actors to really involve the audience in the story by frequently repeating everything that just happened, using different intonations.
Okay, like, we went up the stairs, we got rid of the magazine.
We walked upstairs, we're getting rid of the magazine, whatever.
I mean, we went upstairs to throw the magazine away.
Yeah, and it wasn't even an interesting plot point back when it was actually on screen. Why would verbally describing it again and again make the movie any better? Also, like 40 people just mysteriously vanished, but these kids are still trying to wrap their heads around the fact that the power went out.
All the lights are out. We're in the church and all the lights are out.
Whatever, I'm saying though, what happened to the lights?
They all went out around the same time that like all of your church group seems to have died. So maybe you should start turning your trauma response toward that part of the crisis. Seems like it's gonna be a long road in processing all of that. I'm upset because these non-actors are just like basically making up their dialogue as they go. You can't have bad improvisation carrying an improvised movie. That's just called having zero script. I just remembered that some fabric bled its color onto this shirt, so ignore that. The kids spent 7 minutes trying to figure out where everyone went. And it's so boring hearing these dumb guys talk like, we went upstairs and now there's no one here. And we came downstairs and now there's no one here. And the lights are off and now there's no one here. But where are the people in the lights? They hear a sound back in the office area of the church. So they're like, we have to go check it out. What if that's our friends and classmates? I don't know why he's like, we should go check it out. Like, you should just be working on getting out of the building. That's weirding you out. But maybe if they had made it like the sound of someone's voice being used to lure, and it's like, we're trapped, help us. And then they get there and it's like an empty room. Something. Anyway, when they find this closet, they open it up and they see Jessica in there. So she was like, I went to the bathroom, and then when I came out, everyone was gone, so I thought they all got kidnapped and ran into this closet. How did you think that a building full of people got kidnapped in 1 minute? God really gave you a few less intelligent quota point. Why? No. I have a weird syntax going on today. Just roll with it. So the whole group, they're like, oh my God, the 4 of us were trapped here, left behind. No one's mentioning the rapture, which is interesting because I would be like, as a devout Christian youth grouper, I would be like, this was the rapture and you got us because you made us all touch that porn. That's what they say. They're like, only us who touched the magazine have been left behind here. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure the youth pastor did. I'm pretty sure we saw the lady who was chaperoning did as well. Where are they at? Where are they at? Did they already repent? Either way, the kids are freaking out.
Use the chair, use the chair. Come on! Come on!
That's gonna be me at the CVS drive-thru demanding the monkeypox vaccines that I heard they have in a rumor. Please, I have a party to go to later. I get that it might be creepy, stuck in a dark church all alone, but these 4 have been all operating in a blind panic since the moment the lights went out. I think their performance could have used a few more levels. Also, they could make this dark church feel like it's suddenly otherworldly and so different from how it looked during the day. Maybe there's like these dark creatures in all of the corners that they're like, what is that? Is that our friend? But they have these crazy eyes and they scamper across and they menace people without saying anything, like with these creepy smiles. That would be a fun way to use some of those kids that we saw at the beginning. And I know it, it's hard to keep a big group of people around for an entire movie shoot, but maybe at least like Genesis, that friend, she could be like a decoy, fake out type of girl. And then maybe when they go into this banquet room, it's like all of the kids' spirits are there and they have to like try to move through them without getting caught so that we have some suspense, some layers, some levels. So much of this movie is just real time following some young people around a church that they got to shoot in. And then some of it, I'm just like, why is the place where they do adult baptisms lit like an arcade with these like purple fluorescents? I'm bummed out because there's really, since the lights went out, been nothing to step up how scary this all is. They just keep getting more and more scared of the empty building. Like there's no threat to speak of. Some weird noises every once in a while, but like now they're hiding out in the kitchen, realizing that only the people who touched the adult imagery are being cursed like this. Jessica's the only one who was reacting appropriately to the dangers of pornography because she has personal experience. This nearly destroyed her family. Or no, it successfully destroyed her family. Even better.
Do you not look at those and see that it's sick and that it's nasty? That is what destroyed my family. Those stupid pictures in magazines, and it ripped my family to shreds because my father couldn't let go of it.
Oh honey, I think it's clear from looking at their faces that none of these boys from your school want to hear about how your dad masturbates too much. I'm all for a certain level of parent-child honesty, but it sounds like this girl was kept just a little too in the loop on the comings and goings of her dad's porn addiction. Luckily, everyone in the room goes on to tell an embarrassing story, even though hers is still the worst.
And he just had the mag just like sitting out right on the bed, and I saw it and I just opened it up, and
I looked at some pornography and my pop found out. He took my laptop into the driveway and just ran over it with the car over and over. It really sucked because all of my poetry was on there too.
Guys, if you can't stay in character for this entire scene, then the pornography wins. Our Deacon director already warned us that every time you laugh during this scene, another XTube video gets an upvote. You can tell they were just asked to like make up stories about how pornography ruined their lives at one point, but I'm not getting that. I'm just getting that this guy's pop was abusive. And the other kid was like, I have some magazines under my brother's bed, and then it was off. It's like, what do you mean it was off? Stop talking about pleasuring yourself. The movie really wants to like go in on how bad pornography is, but it says nothing about the masturbation that usually comes along with it. Do Christians think porn is just something you watch with your hands by your side and they're like, yes, this is horny? But they're trying to keep it real family friendly, real ready for your church sleepover. They want to be able to show this to the other youth groups of the world. They don't even say, oh my God. You know how the real Christians are like, oh my gosh, because they don't want to take the Lord's name in vain. The Lord was telling people to cut each other in half. The Lord was turning people into salt for no reason. You can say his name how you want. All of a sudden, Jessica is like, listen, I think I heard my best friend Genesis down the hall. And they're like, we didn't hear it, honey. And she's like, can we please go look? I'm like, ugh, this is such a weak reason to leave your hiding spot. Like, don't, again, you all have phones? They try to explain away the cell phones at the beginning by being like, your phones work, but we're checking to make sure you're not looking at anything inappropriate. So the phone should still work now, just no one's checking because they're all vanquished to hell or whatever. So anyway, the kids go looking after Genesis, which to me, like, they should have set up some more interesting way of calling these kids to action. Like, they find their way into the office and they're checking the security cameras of all these rooms and they're like, oh my God, Genesis, she's sitting in the rectory or in the confession booth crying, like, what? So we have to get to her. So like, some more concrete evidence that they need to go rescue one another. Or maybe Genesis calls her phone and she's like, I'm really scared. We had a tornado, so we went in the basement. You have to come get us. And then it's just luring them into the basement and she still has to go through there to see if Genesis is really there or if it's a fake alter ego from the devil worshippers who published Playboy magazine and Penthouse. So whatever, they're walking and then all this, like, literally out of nowhere, they go to shaky cam and you hear Jessica screaming and then she's disappeared. So the three gentlemen are left now being like, Jessica, I used to have a crush on you, but now you seem to be dead. And so they just keep blindly moping around this church. It's truly upsetting how it's just like walking around a church all night trying to think of other creepy things to show, but have there be no story. Like, what is this now? Where did this come from?
Hey, bud, what are you doing here?
You okay?
Buddy?
Little Johnny here used to be a normal little kid until he decided to Google shirtless girls kissing without the safe search on. And now he has easy After Effects tutorial face. There are videos on YouTube that will teach you how to do this like demonic face shift effect in 10 minutes. It's remarkably simple. But moreover, who is this? Who is this creepy kid? It would have been lovely if they could have established him back in the normal part of the day. Like, they're like, oh, you're the youngest one here, blah, blah, blah. Also, did this kid look at pornography? Is he the product of a porn shoot? Would you explain his presence to me? It's unwanted. So obviously the boys go running from the creepy kid, and then what I hate about this movie is the fucking on-camera light doesn't match with the shutter speed, so you see these scan lines like a blinking fluorescent bulb in every shot. It's gonna give me a headache. Those are really hard to remove in post-production, so they really screwed themselves on this. You also can't see that effect so well on an like pop-out LCD screen on a camera because it's really oversaturated on those, and usually the brightness is pumped up so you can't. So they probably didn't, until they stopped shooting, realize like all of their footage is garbage. But anyway, the guys go into hiding and they find another different video camera in the priest's office and they get some behind the scenes footage. This is another found footage, a movie kind of trope where it's like they cut back to earlier found footage to give you some context at the perfect time. But this is not giving me much context, so it's a miss there.
You know, we've talked about the porn stuff before, and Missy went out of town this last weekend and got alone, you know, I was alone, and you know, it was just, it's definitely stepped up though in terms of the intensity.
Oh great, this must be Jessica's dad, here to tell us how intense his pornography sessions have gotten. What does that even mean, sir? Are you j***ing off with gasoline now? Motor oil? Synthetic motor oil on your dick? That's what it sounds like. He's like, it's the same as regular masturbation, but Fast and the Furious is playing on TBS. Okay, great, Dad. He starts crying. He jump cuts to a crying face, and the priest is like, I'll get you some tissues. But it's too late for him. The only tissues he needs are the ones that he uses to I was gonna make a joke about masturbating again. I think I've hit my limit though. Hey,
let me go get you a tissue.
This is your dad's face on porn, so don't let him look at it. Like, really, Pastor Dan? What do you want me to do about it? I'm not gonna intervene with that. Oh, these blinking lights are so annoying. So now these kids are just exploring the depths of the church, asking out loud why they're doing it, and not being able to answer each other. Like, why were we looking in the basement? Why would they be down here? I don't know. Maybe they're just playing a joke that's been lasting for hours and is also impossible. And someone making this movie couldn't have been like, here's the reason. You need to go save your little sister. Like, come on. And then there's this long scene where they're like playing with cups that are decorated like themselves, and then Blake starts going crazy. So they're like yelling and fighting, and then Blake storms out and then he goes missing too. Nick tries to have this scene with the camera, like that one in Blair Witch where he's like apologizing to whoever found this tape for getting them into this mess. It's like, I don't know that you did anything. It seems like this should be happening to every single person who's ever watched porn, right? Anyway, they're trying so hard to fake cry, but it's like, why are you holding your forehead? I have a religious migraine. So anyway, when Justin, who I guess is our main character now, even though he was really underused this whole movie, when he wakes up from that cry session, Nick is gone. So he's all on his own, walking around alone, and I guess for some reason, when he gets to the baptism room, it's like mysteriously been filled with water. The baptismal font. Yeah, I know the names of some things. And I guess he's going to get a drink. He's a horse to water, and he goes to drink some holy water. I think they could have like shown Nick floating in there, and he's like, I have to go save Nick. Or he thinks it's Nick, because then when he goes and bends over, he gets pulled in. But that's not what happened. He goes to the water for no reason and gets pulled in by something unseen. And we see him struggle in the blinking light. Also, you see someone walk out into the hallway and then step back, who seems to not be any of the characters we've seen before. I honestly don't know if that was a mistake that they just left in, or if he's supposed to be one of the other classmates wearing like white Nike shoes. If demons don't wear Nike shoes. Also, why is that music stand in the shot? Ugh, the cinematography is so bunk in this. Not that this movie had great structure to begin with, but they've completely given up by the third act. Like, they're just like, okay, and now Jessica disappears and screams. Now Nick does. Now whatever. Now you're on your own, Justin, and you're running around. And he's like begging to God. He's like, please, God, save me. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. So he's repenting, which we know is Jesus's like favorite thing when we do it. Makes Jesus so fucking hard when I confess my wrongdoing. Oh my God. I'm gonna get comments saying I'm sacrilegious. It's not sacrilegious if it's not my religion. Then it's just talking shit. Sacrilegious to you. Keep it straight. So yeah, Justin is repenting. You should repent for wearing those loafers this whole time. Those are slippers. Those are house shoes you have on.
I command you, in Jesus' name, to go.
What?
Okay, that looked like body cam footage of me in college trying to emerge from my drug binge just in time to barely pass my Irish in America final. All of a sudden, Nick, Justin, and all of the people are back. It's like time went back in time to the next day, or is it time went back in time to the start of the lock-in, or was it the end? Because the next thing we see, they're all driving home, and Justin's like, you don't remember any of that, guys? And they're like, remember what? And he's like, all the people were gone. And they're like, you're crazy. Look, we're almost at your house soon. It's like, he knows where his house is. Shut up, shut up, shut up, Blake. And then since the climax was so climactic, they really have to calm things down for us here at the end and tie it all together so it makes sense. I'm still disputing the fact that Justin here was the main character. Other than the movie starting with him quietly in his room and ending with him quietly in his room, there's no reason he should be the one learning the biggest lesson here. I think Blake and Nick seem to be the ones struggling with the morality of this pornography magazine. Although I guess Justin here had a few skeletons in his closet too, not just on his laptop that Pop Hop ruined. Damn, Justin, I didn't realize you were keeping the entire adult magazine industry in print. Do you kids not have unlimited data plans on your iPhones or something? This movie seems to really ignore the existence of internet porn, right? Oh, never mind. I see one of his magazines is an issue of Town and Country. So maybe he's one of those people who are sexually attracted to the advertisements for luxury cars. There's no way the Bible says you're not allowed to be into that. They didn't even have cars back then. So go ahead, Justin. F your dad's tailpipe. F it real good. Ah! That's not the last thing I'm gonna be saying in this video, is it? I think it is. Because Nicholas here has gotta be done with this lazy filmmaking. Like, if you're gonna make a Christian movie, it doesn't have to suck. Wouldn't you be reaching more people with the word of God if you cared a little bit about the story? I think so. Maybe it's the hubris. These, like, at the beginning it was like, thank you to the church who funded this. It's like, just because the church is making it, like your little church, doesn't mean you can't hire outside help to edit the script. They're like, no, no, no. we can handle that. The 12-year-old altar boy got an A on his spelling test, so he's gonna write the horror movie. Keep it in the family. Your funeral, Jesus. Your funeral. And 3 days later, your resurrection. And that's Christmas. No, that was his birthday. Pornography. That's all we have for the porn-addicted children of this found footage film. What did you think? Are there any other religious horror movies I should be looking into? Because we've done 2 so far, but I know there must be more, right? Let me know. Also give this video a big thumbs up for more faith-based clip breakdowns like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when I'm trapped in an empty church with you. Also, I've got merch available, a Patreon with bonus episodes, exclusive watch parties, and on pre-sale now is the new mug can plushie with 360 degrees of cuddly softness, embroidered details, and an adorable face. Check out the link below if you want to be one of the first 300 to make this go into production, baby. Let's get there quick. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for drowning yourself in a baptism bath with me today. I will see you next time.